Guys, how we doing? And welcome to episode 65 of the Glasgow PT podcast. This podcast is entitled 14th of September. So this is coming about an hour, 2 hours after the announcement here in Scotland that the gyms won't be opening until then. So I have been asked a few times already my thoughts on the situation. So I thought I'd do a quick podcast, try and keep this to no more than 20 minutes, and we'll just thrash it out, just see where my thoughts are at, see what, if there's any advice I can give, based off of this news that it's, just under 7 weeks until we can use the gyms. We could sit here, guys, and talk about the fact that you can go and play bingo, you can go to live outdoor events, you can play contact sports, but you can't go to the gym. So very, very disappointing news in the industry in Scotland, for sure. I'm going to look at it from a few different angles today. I'm going to look at it from personal trainers, gym owners, and just businesses in general. Like, let's be very, very clear with this podcast here as well, guys, that there's going to be people off the back of today's news, unfortunately, going to leave the industry. There's going to be businesses closing down. I know there was talk of Bannatynes, and Duncan Bannatyne had said about, had wrote a letter or had reached out to Nicola Sturgeon because, his gyms could close if they're not back opening by the end of this month. That could be 600 staff at risk. So this is a very, very serious matter. I'm going to look at it from a general gym goers perception and, people who have benefited through lockdown, people who haven't benefited through lockdown. And I'm not going to sit here, guys, and sell you on more home workouts and go and buy kit off these sites that are expensive now. I'm just going to look at it from purely my opinion, how I take things on board when we get news. And obviously, this news is out with our control, but it doesn't mean we can't have a whinge and moan about it. But saying that, we can't let it dictate the rest of our day, the rest of our week, the rest of our month, which is nearly at an end. But, are we going to sit in a pity party for the next 7 weeks? This is what I'm getting at. So let's dive right into it. First of all, I'll get my thoughts out the way from the get-go. Here's my situation. So I'm in the middle of opening my own gym. I was hoping that the installation date would be around the same time as the gym's opening. So I thought maybe, mid-August, four more weeks' time. I thought it was going to be the case, and I thought I could tie my installation and my, the opening of the gym at that time. So it's not going to be the case. So it might mean that I'm going to have a gym potentially ready in 4 and 5 weeks. Whether or not they put the kit in there, I'll still be charged rent. So for potentially 3 or 4 weeks more. So I'll be sitting in a gym fully kitted without the ability to train people. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm very fortunate enough that I have an online business as well. So the majority of clients who have signed up will be there, and then some will be moving over to the gym model when it opens. So I was about to have conversations with them, basically to say, right, this is the model, this is how it will benefit you, this is what you could do, or you could stay online. So that's where I'm at from a business point of view. Personal point of view, a big believer, guys, in if you can't control something, then what is the point in beating yourself up about it? I get quite competitive with this kind of stuff. I'm very, very competitive. And when I look at this and I go, well, look, I can't do anything about it. So in my mind, this is how I work, is that I've won. So I've won. So then now I need to go and focus on getting my competitive fix elsewhere, which is growing my business and trying to be one of the biggest products and brands in Scotland, in the UK, and the world. So, I don't even watch the news. I didn't watch it live. I knew I was about to get updated by everybody on Instagram and people messaging, so I left it to that. The news is very unfortunate, of course, but now I just soldier on and focus on the online business. I've got 78 clients who need a leader, who need someone to lead them and guide them and help them the way that they've been guided and led for the full lockdown, which I'll continue today. You won't see any weaknesses on my end. I can't wait. I was buzzing last night. I done a Q&A with the guys on Facebook, and I was talking about the gym opening and looking forward to it, and we've just added another 4 weeks onto that date. So yeah, let's talk about the positives then. The positives are that we now have a date. So we've got a date, which is the 14th of September. We have that date now. We've not had a date. We've had just mixed messages. We have a worst case scenario date, I think. I know she kind of covers every ground when she talks, but we've got a date. That's the positive. We've got a date, which means we can look towards that. And all we can do as coaches and trainers is encourage what your message should have been from the start, is that your goals, you still have the same problems. You still have the same problems when it comes to nutrition, eating, sleeping, stress. You still have all these problems. They haven't gone away. If anything, they have increased. So you still need a solution. There is still a solution there. One big piece of the puzzle is missing. I get that, the gym. But guys, I hate to break it to you, it doesn't sound sexy, but you still need to tidy up your diet. You still need to get better with your nutrition. You need to increase your knowledge. You need to probably develop yourself as a person better in terms of what triggers you, who you are, identifying who you are. What do you identify yourself with? Is it terms? Is it names? How is your inner sort of self-talk? And these things all need work done, whether there's a gym open or no. Let's rewind the clock back to when the gyms were open before lockdown happened. What you're feeling right now is no different from how you felt then, or how you felt in previous weeks and months before that. We still have the same problems. None of us were sitting all there, hunky-dory with absolutely amazing results and amazing lives. We still had problems. We still had self-doubt issues. We still had confidence issues. We still hated what we saw in the mirror. We still wanted more. So these problems are still here. And it's up to you. You can go two ways this next 7 weeks. You can go back, bury your head in the sand like a lot of people did week one of lockdown. They then come out of that and realise that there's no point sopping. You need to get back to it. So I think we can take a lot from that. We can take a lot from, I spoke to personal trainers who, as soon as lockdown hit, they couldn't PT in the gym, they had no business. Boom, panic stations, lost all their clients. They then come in, reached out, realised that moping isn't getting you anywhere, and all of a sudden got their business back on track. They weren't in the hustle and bustle of the gym, so they realised that, right, I just need to work on my business here, not in it. And all of a sudden now they're starting to pick up clients because they're offering a service that is, very, very similar to one-to-one, but it's just without the FaceTime. They're offering a solution to a problem that people have got. They're relating to people. So understand that you can either go back to if you want to bury your head in the sand again because there's 7 weeks to go, you're going to be picking the pieces up of your business. Or if you're a person who wants to lose fat or build muscle, you're going to be picking your progress back up for the ground, back to square one where you started. So there's lessons to be learned here. If you were in the camp that really suffered at the start and then started to find your feet because you realised it wasn't helping, then we should learn for that. We should learn for that right now you're going to go back to square one and bury your head in the sand. It's your choice. And 7 weeks is a long time for progress, guys. The last 10 transformations I posted were all during lockdown. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and try to sell you the benefits of training and home workouts and, we love the gym. We need the gym. It's amazing in every single way without even progress getting involved for up here. But 7 weeks to go. Like, if you're in the camp that really excelled through this time, learned a lot about yourself, learned that actually you might have made more progress. Why? Because in the gym you wasted time. You fanned about. You know, you might be doing a lot more cardio-based workouts, which is fine, but it's probably excelled your progress. I've got a few in my team that's done that. If you're in that camp, you might be getting to the point you're now like, right, well, I've made good progress, but I need this back. I need this. You need to keep going, or you'll be the reverse. You'll come out of lockdown in a worse place, even though most of it you smashed. So there's a few camps. You just need to see where you fit in. Like, sulking and moaning about it will get nobody anywhere. You'll not get anywhere. So you need to plan your 7 weeks. Like the same message I've been saying the full time. You want to be in the best position possible when you step back foot in that gym. And there's no difference now. You still need to be in that best position possible. What Sturgeon says, what the government says, what anybody says that changes the rules, you're not in control of that. You don't have a say in the matter. You can sign all the Facebook petitions you want. Nothing's going to change. So, guys, there's loads of ways I can look at this. Like I said, there's people losing their jobs. There's people genuinely, you know, I'm sitting here talking about the gym opening, but there's people genuinely with the virus, with friends, with family with the virus. There's people who just missed got to the gym. There's those kind of people, and I get those people, but those people have got to realise those people I just mentioned. And then there's the people who could lose their livelihood. So I get it. I'm just trying to look at it from, you know, mild versions of the news, mild versions of this outcome and how we can deal with it. But what the familiar theme is that if you bury your head in the sand, it's not going to help anybody. So if you feel like doing that, now you need to reach out and speak to somebody and reach out for help, because the chances are there's people with mental health here, and they're going to feel like the walls are caving in them again. They're going to feel that they almost saw the finishing line, and it's not the case. So understand that you need a support network. You need to speak to people. You need to reach out to people, because I get it. I know I've spoke to a few clients who have felt that way. There's a few times where I was working from home, and honestly, I just felt like the 4 walls are caving in. I've got a barbell and some bumper plates and dumbbells, more than most people, but even then, it's still not great to do that. It's still not the same effect that you get from going to the gym. So just shy of 7 weeks to go. You can go 2 ways with it, guys. You can go 2 ways, and it's one way is a slippery slope, or the other way is swallow your ego, understand and learn the lesson from weeks 1 to 12, how you felt, and change that. Because if you go through another weeks 1 to 12 for the next 7 weeks, on top of that, then yeah, you're in a bad place. So that's my thoughts. It's no anything groundbreaking, as you've probably just realised, but I'm taking it from all angles. I'm not going to just sit here and say to you, just do your home workouts, fucking get on with it. You're spoiled, it's a gym. But when you turn around and see that bingo halls and contact sport and all this sort of stuff is open, you're just mesmerising. You could jump on a train, go down to Carlisle in a couple of hours, go to a gym down there, get back on the train and come back up to Glasgow, and nothing would have happened. Nothing's happened. Do you know what I mean? 2.5 hours or whatever it is on a train. So it's mental. That is the most frustrating thing about it. It is just mental. You can go on holiday, you can go on a plane, and somehow you can't just go into a gym who, as the pure gyms and stuff are proved down in London, England, and that they're very, very capable to train safely, and according to the rules and everything else. So frustrating when these things happen, but we have a date. So what you're going to do in the first week, come back to the gym, how are you going to be? You know, you're going to do a 7-week dieting phase now. Probably my most recommended thing, dieting, or, you know, nothing crazy, just nothing crazy that's going to add unwanted stress to your life. So I've not touched many clients' calories at all throughout this full time because the way of the world, it's unpredictable. The last thing you want to be doing is adding the stress of calorie cutting to the fucking equation. So what about just tidying things up? What about habits? What about hobbies? What about continuing to, wake up every day with realizing gratitude, affirmations? What about all that? And then we can see. So, yeah, if you're the recreational gym user, please understand that the gym you're going to, the owner is feeling a certain way about this, that they potentially might have to close, they might not have funding. So please be understanding of that. For every decision that the government's made, it either favours people or can be life-changing to people in a very negative way. So I can't tell you how to think or how to react, but if you're a personal trainer or coach, the time is now more than ever to be a leader to your clients. You should wake up every day saying, how can I showcase that I'm a role model to these people? Do I turn up every day? Yep. Do I solve their problems? Yep. Do I solve their problems before they even say their problem because I listen to them and know them that well? Yep. Now's the time to be a leader. If you're not a leader, I'm sorry to say this, you will struggle in this industry, and even more so during this time. So if you're a personal trainer or coach that's struggling to be a leader, you need to reach out to someone else, get advice on how you can play to your strengths. You might not be authoritative and outspoken and loud, but you can certainly play to your strengths, which can still lead a team. So now's the time to be a leader. Now is not the time to pick unwanted fights for no reason. If you're out there fighting, social trends and wasting your energy and time when you should be leading your team, then you're just as bad. So, another front, if you have very, very limited knowledge of nutrition and training, then you need help. You need a leader. You need someone. They're not going to be your life coach. They're going to lead you in areas that are super important that you know very little about. So nutrition, training, sleep, stress, things that, accountability, coaching. If you feel that you could be doing with that just now to take your mind off the news that happened, then reach out to people because it helps. There's clients in my team that will tell you that if it wasn't for the team and the group, they don't know where they would have been during lockdown. And I'm sure that's the same for other coaches and their clients. So look about you today and go, right, what a fucking horrible bit of news. Right, look about you and go, who have I got around me that is going to make these next 7 weeks as bearable, as productive, as beneficial and as safe as possible? Who have you got? Because if you can't point to people, if you can't pick the phone up to people to better your health and well-being, then you need to sort that today because you'll struggle. So guys, that's my thoughts. Again, nothing groundbreaking, but this is what I'm going to get asked a few things. This is me putting it down on video so that it's done. You won't see me ever worry about something that I can't control. It's hardwired into me. I won't bother about it because I can't control it. And that's why you want you to see it in a competitive sense. Tomorrow, I think a lot of your minds will change. So another recommendation would be don't make any decisions, any harsh decisions and movements of today. If you're really emotional with this news, wait, sleep on it, wake up and unfollow anybody who is literally just badgering and butchering and fucking like negative force about this whole situation. You don't need that. It's going to be hard enough. So unfollow all that shit. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, guys. Please give it a share and a like if you enjoyed it. And I will speak to you soon. There's some really good podcasts coming from suggestions that you guys made on Instagram and stuff. So really, really good points, which I'll cover. So yeah, have an awesome weekend and speak to you soon.